So welcome all. Sorry about the 2 days absence. Too many engagements, too many classes. I need to cut down. Okay, so uh, let's do quick revision of the 17th chapter. Some fantastic prayers. Sorry, rather discussions between A. Parvati, Chitraketu, and Lord Shiva. So let's do this hopefully by today. So we will, okay, 17th chapter, yeah. Okay, yeah, Srinivas Prabhu can read the overall summary first.
Hare Krishna. Mother Parvati curses Chitraketu. The 17th chapter is summarized as follows. This chapter describes Chitraketu's receiving the body of an asura or demon because of joking with Lord Shiva. After personally talking with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Chitraketu enjoyed life in his airplane with the women of the Vidyadhara planet, engaging in the congregational chanting of the glories of the Lord. He began flying his plane and traveling in outer space. One day, while traveling like this, he wandered into the bowers of Sumeru mountain, where he came upon Lord Shiva embracing Parvati, surrounded by an assembly of Siddhas, Charanas, and great sages. Seeing Lord Shiva in that situation, Chitraketu laughed very loudly, but Parvati became very angry at him and cursed him. Because of this curse, Chitraketu later appeared as the demon Vritrasura. Chitraketu, however, was not at all afraid of Parvati's curse, and thus he spoke as follows. Everyone in human society enjoys happiness and distress according to his past deeds, and in this way travels in the material world. Therefore, no one is responsible for his happiness and distress. One is controlled by the influence of material nature in the material world, yet one thinks himself the doer of everything. In this material world, which is made of the external energy of the Supreme Lord, one is sometimes cursed and sometimes favored, and thus he sometimes enjoys in the upper planetary systems and sometimes suffers in the lower planetary planets. But all these situations are the same because they are within this material world. None of these positions has any factual existence, for all of them are temporary. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate controller because the material world is created, maintained, and annihilated under his control, while he nonetheless remains neutral to these different transformations of the material world in time and space. The material external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in charge of this material world. The Lord helps the world by creating situations for the living entities within it. When Chitraketu spoke in this way, all the members in the great assembly in which Lord Shiva and Parvati were present were astonished. Then Lord Shiva began speaking about the devotees of the Lord. A devotee is neutral in all conditions of life, whether in the heavenly planets or hellish planets, whether liberated from the material world or conditioned by it, and whether blessed with happiness or subjected to distress. These are all merely dualities created by the external energy. Being influenced by the external energy, the living entity accepts a gross and subtle material body, and in this illusory position, he apparently suffers miseries, although everyone is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. The so-called demigods consider themselves independent lords, and in this way, they are misled from understanding that all living entities are part of the Supreme. This chapter concludes by glorifying the devotee and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so superb summary by Srila Prabhupada, and we see the philosophy espoused by Chitraketu shows his level of advancement, and therefore it is definitely surprising as to such an advanced devotee would not, identify Lord Shiva's position and make fun of him. So, which obviously means this was all the Leela of the Lord, so that Chitraketu can come back home, back to Godhead. Okay, let's read in detail. Sorry, why did I go here? Uh, Okay, let's go to text one. Yeah, sorry, Niti Mother, you had a point?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I had one doubt. Like it is mentioned in one of the texts that Chitraketu and Lord Shiva, they being on almost the same platform, they shared a close friendship, because of which they had sometimes used to share jokes and laughter, which Parvati Mataji could not understand at that moment, and she behaved in this manner. So is this because they were good friends that
Sorry, where is this appearing? I can't remember reading it in Bhagavatam.
yeah, Prabhuji, it is mentioned in yesterday's only, which
Ah,
we,
yesterday, maybe I missed. Yeah, okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
it
Yeah,
was meant,
sometimes happens, right? That when friends are joking, people may not understand, and they might be relatives, wives, or husbands, as to what is the depth of relationship. So that's why probably. So I missed yesterday's
yeah.
reading. So yeah, maybe that could be one of the
Yeah,
reasons why.
and because of this, it's also mentioned that Parvati Mataji, because she responded in this way, so she's considered, females are generally considered as people of less intelligent person. They are low intelligence compared to men. So I think it's mentioned in text 37, maybe. I don't
Mhm.
know. Yeah.
Even in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's,
women can give babies, men cannot.
yes.
So
Uh,
it's just a feature, that's all.
Yeah, but low intelligence, I couldn't understand why it's mentioned like that. No.
Because Parvati behaved like this, no? She shouldn't have,
Yeah,
at least. Lord Shiva was smiling, everybody else was smiling. She should have seen, oh, maybe they are friends, they are joking. She
yeah.
didn't. It's a feature.
And,
Maybe the Lord
and
uses this feature. There's no misogyny in here.
yes, and Prabhuji, it's even mentioned that, normally devotees are very powerful. So they are like, they never deviate from their path because they're so powerful. They accept everything which is given by God, like even the blessings, even the curses, everything. But normally people with low intelligence, because out of sense gratification,
Or out
they
of ego.
pass on curse or something like this.
Yeah. Or
So
out of
it
ego also, right?
yeah, ego. So maybe because of this, also
Hmm.
Parvati Mataji, she cursed Chitraketu.
She cursed, and she reacted rather than responding. She could have asked why you're, behaving. But maybe that is again the Lord's Leela. I mean, the at that level, if Parvati is also losing her this thing. So if you see, in fact, yesterday's itself, when I was revising, though I didn't read all the purports, there is one very nice point which is mentioned by uh, Shukdev Goswami itself. Uh, where was that? She here that's what she says. Was so powerful that he quite competent to curse mother in retaliation, but instead of doing so, very humbly accepted. This is very much no, not here. She says here. This is Shukdev Goswami saying. She gave up the astonishment of behavior Chintraketu and became steady in intelligence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
which means
after that, she became steady. Like after
isn't it?
cursing.
Yes, exactly. And again, it's a position, right?
Yes.
It's a demigod position. It's some other one will then become this demigod, and she might then probably have this. That's the so here that's what it says. So that's what it. Srila Prabhupada is taking it from directly the purport itself, or the translation itself, rather than making it. I mean, as his own commentary there. This is where it's very clear. Shukadeva Goswami is saying this, isn't it?
Yeah, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, one more point, sorry.
Mhm.
Like it is mentioned in text 31 that Shivji is considered somewhere between
Yeah,
uh, Jivatma and, he's
Supreme
considered
Lord.
between demigod and not demigod exactly,
Higher
but
than demigod
yeah,
and
higher
lower
than
than.
demigod and not exactly living entity. Like Brahma is considered as living entity because there's
Hmm.
a cycle and he perishes. But so what
Also,
is
Brahma is within the material world. Lord Shiva is outside of this material world.
okay? So that is why.
That is
Not
also so. If you remember our picture, famous picture, where is that one? Yeah, so this is where Lord Shiva is. Kailasha is beyond the Brahmajot, beyond this material. So this is where the position of the Lord is. Sadashiv. Yeah, it is outside of this material world. Therefore, he is considered to be not like an ordinary living entity. He's not a living entity, living jiva at all, jivatma at all. Yeah, in fact, Dadi Vikara Yoga, if you look at Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma's view is also that he is like the yogurt form of the Supreme Lord. Just like yogurt is converted form of milk, Lord
Yes,
Shiva is considered to be at that particular level.
yes.
Yeah, Indu Mataji will expand a bit. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, once a lady asked the same question to the Prabhupada. So Prabhupada replied that if you are thinking that you are a body, I mean women or men, then you are
You're in the
of course
bodily
a
level.
more intelligent.
Exactly.
But if you are thinking that you are a soul, then it's not for you. So
Correct.
Prabhupada replied in that way.
Exactly. Good point. Thinking that I'm a woman, past janma you were a man, and we might not know. Yeah.
Yes.
So women is only this bodily conception only in this 50, 100 years of our lives. But our real position is that of a spirit soul. And we don't know what our original Swarupa is. So that way. As of now, we don't know. We know we are servants of Lord Krishna, but what is the mellow, we do not know. Yeah. Correct. Good point, Manaji. Sorry, somebody else raised hands?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, I mean, just to add to Indu Mataji's point, the woman less intelligent, more intelligent, these are all not to be understood from the material plane perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
In material level, all are women.
Exactly. All are Prakriti.
Yes, yes. So it's not a feminist view or male chauvinistic view. No, it is not like that, isn't it?
That is true. Yeah, I mean, again, if you think you know that you're a spirit soul, a soul does not have any gender, unless, of course, what form you take in the spiritual world. But as a soul, there is no gender to it. Because this Janma, I am female. Last Janma, I might be male. We don't know. And typically, that's what happens. Husband and wives, apparently, they say they keep shifting because the husband might be thinking of his wife when he dies, or the wife might think of the husband when she dies. So then they will. Yeah, what is that? Yam Yam Smarati. That shloka applies. So we don't know. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Mamta Mataji had a point, or Manish Prabhuji? Okay, maybe it was the hand.
No.
Which I think there is a feature I think you need to shut off. It doesn't happen to me though. I don't know why.
No, I had a point actually.
Oh, you had a point. Okay, go ahead.
And it is, this woman being less intelligent to this point, probably it is compared to the uh, very high level of man, not with the husband, at least that is clear. Most of the husbands are below the intelligence of their wives. That is for sure. So when they are talking, they are comparing with somebody at a very high level.
Probably. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's come back to our 17th chapter. Let's read the first 5 shlokas. Yeah, Aruna Mataji can read.
Hare Krishna. Text 1. Srila Sukadeva Goswami said, after offering obeisances to the direction from which Ananta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, had disappeared, Chitraketu began traveling in outer space as the head of the Vidyadharas.
Yeah, so that we remember now. He gets to see the Supreme Lord Ananta and then gets this benediction to become the leader of Vidyadharas. Okay, go ahead, Mataji.
Text 2 and 3, being praised by the great sages and saints and by the inhabitants of Siddhaloka and Charanloka, Chitraketu, the most powerful mystic yogi, pondered about enjoying life for millions of years. With bodily strength and senses free from deterioration, he traveled within the valleys of Sumeri mountain, which is the place for perfection for various kinds of mystic power. In those valleys, he enjoyed life with the women of Vidyadhara Loka by chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Hari.
So that's the important consideration that what he did, yeah, he chanted the supreme glories of Supreme Lord Hari, even with that position.
Text 4 and 5. One time while King Chitraketu was traveling in outer space or deliberately fulgent airplane given to him by Lord Vishnu, he saw Lord Shiva surrounded by Siddhas and Charanas. Lord Shiva was sitting in an assembly of great saintly persons and embracing Parvati on his lap with his arm. Chitraketu laughed loudly and spoke within the hearing of Parvati. Hare
Hmm.
Krishna.
That's the position that he takes. Okay, let's read the next one. Mamta Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Text 6. Chitraketu said, Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the general populace, is the best of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. He enunci-
Enunciates.
enunciates the system of religion. Yet how wonderful it is that he is embracing his wife Parvati in the midst of an assembly of great saintly persons.
So that's what the point that Chitraketu thinks that Lord Shiva is such an exalted personality. Still, how is he behaving like this? Okay, go ahead.
Text 7. Lord Shiva, whose hair is matted on his head, has certainly undergone great austerities and penances. Indeed, he is the president in the assembly of strict followers of Vedic principles. Nonetheless, he is seated with his wife on his lap in the midst of saintly persons and is embracing her as if he were a shameless, ordinary human being.
That's why he's laughing. Okay, next.
Text 8. Ordinary conditioned persons generally embrace their wives and enjoy their company in solitary places. How wonderful it is that the Lord Mahadev, although a great master of austerity, is embracing his wife openly in the midst of an assembly of great saints.
So that's where Lord Shiva, as an acharya, yadyad acharati sreshta, should set standards, but he is getting confused as to why he is behaving like this, and of course, therefore, laughing at him. Okay, next.
Text 9. Srila Shukadev Goswami continued, My dear king, after hearing Chitraketu's statement, Lord Shiva, the most powerful personality whose knowledge is fathomless, fathomless, simply smiled and remained silent, and all the members of the assembly followed the Lord by not saying anything.
So assembly members follow the leader. The leader is not saying anything. So let's see what happens next. Go ahead, Mother.
Text 10. Not knowing the prowess of Lord Shiva and Parvati, Chitraketu strongly criticized them. His statements were not at all pleasing, and therefore the goddess Parvati, being very angry, spoke as follows to Chitraketu, who thought himself better than Lord Shiva in controlling the senses.
So he thought Lord Shiva is not able to control the senses, and therefore he is doing it out of desperation, is what his thought process was, and therefore he was laughing at that particular point. Okay, let's see the next 5. Manish Prabhuji.
Text 11. The goddess Parvati said, Alas, has this upstart now received a post from which to punish shameless person like us? Has he been appointed ruler, carrier of the rod of punishment? Is he now the only master of everything?
So he is saying, iska औकात क्या है? Okay.
Text 12. Alas, Lord Brahma, who has taken his birth from the lotus flower, does not know the principle of religion, nor do the great saints like Bhrigu and Narada, nor the poor Kumaras headed by Sanat Kumara. Manu and Kapila has also forgotten the religious principles. I suppose it to be because of this that they have not tried to stop Lord Shiva from behaving improperly.
So all these other people are there. They are not saying anything. They are not finding anything wrong. Who is this upstart who thinks he is better than Lord Shiva? Next.
Text 13. This Chitraketu is the lowest of Kshatriyas, for he has imprudently overridden Brahma and the other demigods by insulting Lord Shiva, upon whose lotus feet they always meditate. Lord Shiva is personified religion and the spiritual master of the entire world, and therefore Chitraketu must be punished.
So that's the position she takes. Okay, next.
Text 14. This person is puffed up because of his achievements, thinking I am the best. He does not deserve to approach the shelter of Lord Vishnu's lotus feet, which are worshipped by all saintly persons, for he is imprudent, thinking himself greatly important.
That's what she's thinking. Okay, and therefore she curses him. Go ahead.
Text 15. O impudent one, my dear son, now take birth in a low sinful family of demon, so that you will not commit such an offense again towards exalted saintly persons in this world.
So that's the other beautiful aspect, that many times we see exalted persons, it might look as if they are committing something for, yeah. So unless and until we get to the reality of the matter, it is not our position to. Of course, Parvati is at a very exalted position. She probably knew. That's one part. Also, if you look at from the position of Chitraketu, he is, without understanding the entire matter, he is misunderstanding the whole position. He's thinking Lord Shiva is there sitting and enjoying in front of everybody. He's making a show of his love for his wife, or whatever. He is unable to control his senses. Lord Shiva, imagine that's how he's thinking. Yeah. So that is the other consideration also. Yeah. And therefore, in both cases, he should not have reacted in this manner. B, okay, he reacted maybe, but then Parvati also should not have. That's what Lord Shiva concludes at the end of that particular chapter. Okay, let's see. And that's what probably happens. That's what probably also for all mankind, this is the lesson, not to unnecessarily react without knowing the full matter. Okay, let's read the next 5. Yeah, Niti Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Text 16. Sri Shukdev Goswami continued, My dear King Parikshit, when Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati, he descended from his airplane, bowed before her with great humility, and pleased her completely.
That's what he did. He did not put a counter curse from top. Go ahead.
Text 17. Chitraketu said, My dear mother, with my own hands folded together, I accept the curse upon me. I do not mind the curse, for happiness and distress are given by the demigods as a result of one's past deeds.
So that's one point I wanted to discuss actually in relation to this shloka, that many times we see that there are these pujas and so many demigod worships that happen, and suddenly we see this person who's done this demigod worship or this particular thing, he gets some kind of benediction or some kind of riches or some kind of good health or whatever. Yeah, and that's what the control of the demigods have. They cannot change the karma that that the jiva is going to get, but they have the power to shift the timing of the karma. So many times when we pray to demigods, or when we pray to the 9 grahas, yeah, Navagraha puja and all we do, what these demigods have is the power to control when a particular reaction will come and go. Yeah. So of course, law of karma, Prakriti decides such and such things. But because of this particular puja, this particular sacrifice that the jiva does, the demigods become pleased, and what they do, some future benediction that the jiva was going to get maybe in in the next 3 lifetimes, they will push it into this particular lifetime. Yeah, but again, this is like, that's the only power that they have. They do not have the power to remove the reaction altogether. That only the Supreme Personality of Godhead can do when we do bhakti or devotional service with the Lord. Yeah. Hare Krishna. That's why here Chitraketu is saying, I do not mind the curse, for happiness are given by the demigods. Yeah. So as a result of one's past deeds. So your karmic reactions, you will have X good karma and Y bad karma, but the timings might be different as to when you will receive those benedictions. Those timings can be juggled by the demigods as to when they will get. Okay, next 3, Mataji, go ahead.
Text 18. Deluded by ignorance, the living entity wanders in the forest of this material world, enjoying the happiness and distress resulting from his past deeds, everywhere and at all times. Therefore, my dear mother, neither you nor I am to be blamed for this incident.
So if you look at the principle which Srila Prabhupada puts in, jnanam matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha, that the super soul sitting within the heart guides the remembrance, forgetfulness, and knowledge for a particular jiva. So the fact of the matter is that, coincidentally, Chitraketu is at that particular point when Lord Shiva's Darbar was on, and he was sitting with Parvati with her, on his lap. That itself was by Kal, or by time, defined by the Supreme Lord. Maybe if he had come, say, 2 days later, or he had come 2 days earlier, he would not have seen this incident probably, isn't it? But the fact of the matter is, it was arranged in that particular manner by the Lord. Obviously meant that there was definitely some higher control in terms of Chitraketu coming at that point of time, and B, commenting on that particular position of the law of Lord Shiva. Okay, next.
Text 19. In this material world, neither the living entity himself nor others, friends and enemies, are the cause of material happiness and distress. But because of gross ignorance, the living entity thinks that he and others are the cause.
So that's the position that is there for every living entity. I am the doer. That's what Chitraketu is pointing out. Go ahead.
This material world resembles the waves of a constantly flowing river. Therefore, what is a curse and what is a favor? What are the heavenly planets and what are the hellish planets? What is actually happiness and what is actually distress? Because the waves flow constantly, none of them has an eternal effect.
So everything is temporary in this material world, and time and tide favors no one. Yeah, that's what is being said here in this particular verse. Okay, so let's read another 5 and then close for the day. Yes, Soumya Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Text 21. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is one, unaffected by the conditions of the material world. He creates all the conditioned souls by his own personal potency. Because of being contaminated by the material energy, the living entity is put into ignorance and thus into different conditions of bondage. Sometimes by knowledge, the living entity is given liberation. In Sattva-guna and Tamoguna and Rajoguna, he is subjected to happiness and distress.
So once he is in the material world, he acts on the platform that he is in. Originally, he comes in the mode of passion, and when he acts in the mode of passion, he creates more and more karmas, and basically falls down, sometimes into ignorance, sometimes into mode of goodness, and thus creates more and more karmas for himself, and that becomes bondage. Yeah, and therefore he is subject in Sattva-guna and Rajoguna, he is subjected to happiness and distress. Yeah, Manish Prabhu, you had a point?
Prabhuji, elsewhere I had a confusion, but after this I'll ask after.
Okay. Yeah, Mataji, go ahead.
Text 22. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is equally disposed towards all living entities. Therefore, no one is very dear to him, and no one is a great enemy for him. No one is his friend, and no one is his relative. Being unattached to the material world, he has no affection for so-called happiness or hatred for so-called distress. The two terms, happiness and distress, are relative. Since the Lord is always happy, for him there is no question of distress.
So the Lord's position as an independent third party is what he is highlighting. But for the Jiva, he thinks that, oh, affection, I have happiness, I have a lot of affection. For distress, no, I don't like distress. So he is in duality here. Okay, but the Lord is not in duality. Next one.
Text 23. Although the Supreme Lord is unattached to our happiness and distress according to karma, and although no one is his enemy or favorite, he creates pious and impious activities through the agency of his material potency. Thus, for the continuation of materialistic way of life, he creates happiness and distress, good fortune and bad, bondage and liberation, birth and death.
Yes, yeah. So all of this, if you see happiness and distress, good fortune, bad fortune, bondage, liberation, birth, they're all aspects of duality, isn't it? And why is that duality required? For the continuation of the materialistic way of life. So how can we stop the materialistic way of life? By not being in duality, which means we become Sthita Prajnas. Yeah. Okay, next.
Text 24. O mother, you are now unnecessarily angry. But since all my happiness and distress are destined by my past activities, I do not plead to be excused or relieved from your curse. Although what I have said is not wrong, please let whatever you think is wrong be pardoned.
So he still has probably a little bit of ego. He's saying whatever I've said is not wrong, but he's still asking for forgiveness even with that ego. Okay, next.
Text 25. Sri Shukdev Goswami continued, O King Parikshit, subduer of the enemy, after Chitraketu satisfied Lord Shiva and his wife Parvati, he boarded his airplane and left as they looked on. When Lord Shiva and Parvati saw that Chitraketu, although informed of the curse, was unafraid, they smiled, being fully astonished by his behavior.
Yeah, so they were so astonished because Chitraketu had accepted the curse with, without any hatred or distress or love or, he was not in duality, very clear is what we can see in this particular position. Okay, great. So let's stop there. We are out of time. Yeah, Manish Prabhuji, are you ready with your question then?
Yes. Yeah. In the explanation, in the purport of text 15, it is written that Mother Parvati punished him like a mother punished the child in order for him to attain Vaikuntha Loka. Okay, so
In order, sorry, what is that? 15, right?
yeah, the last few lines of 15.
It is to be understood that Mother Durga was justified in punishing Chitraketu. Okay, that is just like Yashoda is punishing Krishna.
Please read the last line.
Yeah.
It is a boon for him because he can now attain Vaikuntha Loka. So,
Yeah.
okay. So my question was, that means after meeting Lord Sankarsana also there is something left.
Yes, definitely there was something left. Yeah, and in fact, our acharyas explain that even like, for example, Dhruva or Narada Muni, before they became, even for Dhruva, even right now, even for that person, they have both seen the Lord. But still, for Narada Muni, when he was a son of a Dasi Putra, he sees the Lord, but still he has to continue his life. It's not that he goes to Vaikuntha Loka directly. So even for Chitraketu, even though he has seen the Lord, there might still be some vestiges left of his enjoying propensity. Yeah. And that is why maybe he is still in the material world and being the leader of Vidyadharas. Yeah. He is given a higher exalted position, just like Dhruva is given an exalted position. Because there was, for Dhruva especially, we know, he was, the original reason for why he prayed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead was because he wanted to be the king. Isn't it? So there is probably still some vestige of that enjoyment propensity is still left in Dhruva, which is why the Lord says for 36,000 years you become the planet head of this entire center of this entire galaxy. Isn't it? So even for Chitraketu, there was probably some enjoyment left over because of the untimely killing of his son, because of whatever reason. There must be some leftover vestige of enjoyment propensity, which is what the Lord then probably keeps handy subsequently so that he might become perfect.
So,
yeah.
Prabhuji, this is like a never-ending process. Okay. One level, another level to another level to another level.
So perfection is like that, no, unfortunately. 99% is not good enough. Only 100% is what Lord Krishna wants. So only when you're fully out of your false ego will the Lord, or will Durga Devi allow us to go out, or the Lord will allow us to come into in the spiritual world. Yeah. So that is what it again shows, the difficulty of trying to attempt this ourselves. Isn't it? That's the only realization I get, that, I mean, even in our schools, getting 100% was so difficult, isn't it? Yeah, if I in maths or in any subject, yeah, I mean, getting 100% means like you need to like be so perfect, and so much hard work has to happen. Yeah. So same thing also applies here, that if we have to go out of this material world, we have to be 100% in removing our false ego. Even if a slight seed is there that holds us back. But of course, the Lord helps us, because we're becoming devotees, then the Lord helps us. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, we have 3 more hands. Yeah, Priya Mataji, or was it Srinivasan Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Regarding that less intelligent, that line,
Mhm.
an intelligent person, the definition includes one who doesn't have any dualities,
Hmm.
or one who should see anything that is happening before his eyes as same. So
Hmm.
here Lord Shiva saying Lord Parvati has less intelligence because she got disturbed the way Chitraketu commented Lord Shiva. And Chitraketu again got disturbed by what he saw there in that Kailash mountain, in that Sangh. So
Correct.
both of them had duality. So
Hmm.
both of them are being addressed to, Parvati Mataji being on a higher platform than Chitraketu might be. As Maya Devi, she's been, given instruction by Lord Shiva, whereas Chitraketu had to come down because of the
Good
99%.
realization. Very nice. Yes, definitely makes sense.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One point I want to, to understand easily the whole thing, why chapter 8 and 9 is told first, and then came 14 to 17 chapters.
Mhm.
So if we answer this question, then we will be able to find the base and the justification and the sense for the events that unfolded here in this chapter 14, chapter 17, that is. Because first we were told about Vritrasura, demon, and
As a demon.
Ashta's sacrifice. And then the backstory of Vritrasura is being told here. So this itself is the reason that we should be able to have the justification for the events that has unfolded here in the 17th chapter. So
True.
that's how I kind of see. It's like it's all God's design.
Will and desire, exactly.
Yes, Parvati is also playing her part. Lord Shiva is playing his part, and then
Correct. True.
Hare
Very
Krishna.
nice. Yeah, Niti Mataji?
Prabhuji, regarding the same point, like low level intelligence, which was shown by Mata Parvati ji. So I think, Prabhuji, that, this is a God's will, to show to mankind how, when you have power and you are in this material world, then with power comes low intelligence, and, you fall down. You become, you just want to please all your senses. So it is that time, when, or normally, that karmic reactions will be at your worst, because this is just, a type of, way to teach people that, this is not the time when you are powerful. You should behave with more intelligence rather than low intelligence. So, and Prabhuji, one more thing, like Chitraketu's story is like of Parikshit Maharaj only, wherein he also at the ashram, he loses all he forgets everything, whatever he had, all his good karmas he forgets, and he misbehaves with Rishi. So it was also God's will only that he behaved in that way.
Correct. Very nice. Yes. Yes, sorry, another had a point, or was it Indu Mataji? I think.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I just want to ask you whether I am right or not. It's my realization that the Chitraketu has taken a birth of Vritrasur. So Lord might be want to learn the people in the material world, like with the aspect of Vritrasur, he was a demon, and he is, death is in front of him. Then too, it's very easy for demigods and who are the devotees to offer the prayer. But being a demon and the
Also, you
condition,
can still offer prayers. Very nice.
So
Yes, that's a good realization.
we can think
I mean,
it
we
is
see that in action also, right? When Srila Prabhupada went, to the West, the people in the West they were like almost demons, right? I mean, of course, with all respect to them now, and even earlier, they were indulging in, they were breaking all the four regulative principles in full, with full force. And Srila Prabhupada, of course, with his association, he basically converted the demons, and the demons, the so-called demons, are now the best of the devotees. So same way, probably Chitraketu also. And again, when we look at somebody with that particular angle, oh, he's a demon, he is a devotee, he is not good, he is good, then that itself, our viewpoint also needs to improve. In that sense, we should not be in duality. We see everybody as the Lord's energy, whether he is demon or a devotee.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Yeah, Anandi had a point.
No, I think the Parvati being a woman and this whole scene, she's the only woman in this assembly. So this is the womanly expression, what she felt of this. So it's natural, I feel like, there is nothing, because she is a representation of womanly character, and, like a mother, she's the one, I mean, who is the actually got affected with this whole scene. So it's natural that she expresses herself with such maybe the anger or so I think
Sorry.
this is
I think it's an assumption that there was no other woman present in the assembly. Even though it's not mentioned, just mentioned as Chananas and Siddhas, I don't think that there were no other women. Here, Parvati gets affected only because of the aspect that she thinks my husband is being chastised.
and she was included in the comment. Her character is also included when he gave the comment. So her personality also was included in that comment. So partly she is also affected by the comment. So she has taken on her side whatever the comment was, and she has given the responded accordingly. So
Reacted.
any woman in that situation would have done the reply or expressed her thoughts like that, if I feel, because anyway Shiva is her husband, and partly he has commented on her also. So it's natural. I feel like as a womanly she has taken it on her, because she was also included in that comment.
But that's what the whole point of the matter is, right? That if she knows that she's a jiva, not a woman or a man, or this is my husband, that is not my husband, then that also is a reaction, right, rather than a
No,
response.
but isn't it? This is also the we have the duties by our birth, also by bodily duties.
But Lord
So
Shiva knows better, no? He is not getting affected. That's what Shukdev Goswami calls probably this behavior as less
her
intelligent.
presence there, and she was included in the comment. That's why she has taken this role of chastising us as a mother.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that is why probably highlights Shukdev Goswami calling women less intelligent.
That was her no.
Thanks for proving Shukdev Goswami's point. Sorry, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
There are
Hare
comments.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Srinivasan Prabhu, go ahead.
Prabhuji, after Mataji's reference here, there is another reference just came to my mind. When the Milky Ocean was being churned, and Mahalakshmi came forth, and in spite of so many men, around her, she straight away, I believe, went and sat on Lord's lap and garlanded him. So there, Mahalakshmi did not feel any shame or any kind of hesitancy in choosing her the place where she needs to be. So in spite of in presence of all the men, who were all there. So there she didn't feel that she is she as it is, So I felt, this is the reference
There's
here.
another viewpoint.
I feel this is very high spiritual topic. I mean, this whole scenario is such on a high level. Maybe it's beyond our expression and understanding. It looks we can't even express. Words will not be sufficient. I feel.
No, it's very clear. They are saying not to be in duality, right? If you think, oh, my husband is being chastised and I have to fight back and I am better and my husband is better, how is other? What is he thinking? This is all out of duality only.
So you mean the birth and varna or what is not applicable to the demigods, or it's only for the humans?
No, for demigods, all jivas it is applicable. No, jiva should not be in duality.
So varnashram is not applicable to the demigods, you mean?
No, jivas I'm talking of.
So-
Demigods are also jivas.
Yeah, so it means they're also they have to abide, right? This varnashram, whatever womanly duties or womanly or
Yeah,
Sri
but they are a
dharma, what
jiva
is that?
first. No, duties come in later. As jiva, you have not to be in duality. You can do your duties without being in duality.
I feel like her expression was on the basis of she being a woman and it's a right to express in
That
way.
thinking itself is problematic. No, she thinks she's a woman first rather than a jiva.
But doesn't mean that varnashram is not applicable and we shouldn't be expression or I feel the Parvati is also following as a womanly
Okay, I think you need to
character.
argue with Shukadeva Goswami now. I need to eat food afterwards. I don't want to
Probably.
Hare Krishna.
Lord Shiva
No, I
should
think
have.
Shukadeva Goswami needs to validate here.
Parvati took a turn here. It could have been Lord Shiva who would have reacted like this. It was just because Lord Shiva was silent, Parvati took the turn of cursing the devotee.
Yeah, but then again, the whole point is even she should have probably kept quiet. I don't know. Maybe again the Lord decides.
No, he would not get the one more birth as and Vrittasura and would not go back. So she has done a very actually favor by cursing him. It's another kind of favor on him. As per Sukadeva Goswami is also explaining here that he goes back early.
Okay, we are very much late now. Let's close. Hare Krishna. Prashant Prabhuji can do closing.
Hare Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha macchitta madgada prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te teshameva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamah nashayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata अहमेवा समेवाग्रे नान्यद्यत् सदसत्परं पश्चादहं यदेतच्च यो वशिष्येत सोऽस्म्यहं ऋते अर्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यादात्मनो मायां यथा भासो यथा तमः यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनु प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् एतावदेव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्यां यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
हरे हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
हरे कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.